Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Zed for me, and today we're going to be installing the Viofo A119 dash camera.
Alright, so we have here the unboxing of the Viofo A119 dash camera. This is basically an upgrade over the current dash camera that I have inside my car, which is the A118, the predecessor. So this is the successor to that model with 1440p recording and also 1080p at 60 frames per second. You can also see that there are contacts for GPS mount, which I also bought for this dash camera. I think it'll be helpful to have some of the GPS data in terms of where I am, in terms of the speed that I'm going, just in case that it would be helpful in some sort of accident. So included with the dash camera is basically all the standard accessories that you would find. First, a USB 12 volt adapter, as well as a really long USB cable that goes from your car cigarette plug all the way to your dash camera. There are instructions for this particular dash camera, and I've read through it. It actually is pretty good, considering I believe this product is coming from China. So this here is the GPS mount. What's really nice about the GPS mount that I find is that you can actually put on the USB and have it connected to GPS, and you can take off your dash camera without having to fiddle with the actual USB cord. Unlike on the A118, every time you take off the dash camera, you actually need to remove the USB cable and it'll dangle like at the top of your windshield. Whereas with this one, after you use the GPS mount, the USB adapter actually goes into the mount, and then you can just take the actual dash camera on and off of that mount without worrying about the USB. If you decide not to use the GPS mount, there's also a regular mount. One thing you do want to know, however, is that the adhesive is black, which in this case it is. A lot of times when dash cameras first come out, for some reason they come out with these gray adhesives, and it looks really bad from the outside of the car because you can actually see that there's a dash camera there. Whereas right now it is black and it's discreet. And this model, just like the A118, which I had on the car before, is very discreet. You can't really tell that there is a dash camera in the car unless you're really looking for it. You also get a couple of mounts to help you with the wire management, but other than that, let's get this installed into the car.
Alright, so this is my old dash cam. That is the A118, and this is the new one. So I just wanted to compare them a little bit before I actually swap them out. But first things first, I have to get that off as well as the mount so that it can go in another car. And then I'll compare with you the size difference as well as some of the features. Okay, so these are the two devices. On the right is the A118 and on the left is the A119. First thing you kind of notice is that the screen on the A119 is slightly larger. So it'll be a little bit easier for you to review footage on the device itself without actually taking out the SD card and then putting it into your computer. Another thing you'll notice is obviously the actual size of the A119 is larger than the A118. And if you actually look at the front here, one of the cool new features of the A119 is that not only do you have this up and down motion, but you can tilt this left and right as well. So I guess a couple of uses you might imagine for this is like if you see something on the right side of the road, you can quickly just move your hand there and kind of push it to the right. Or if you see something on the left, vice versa. Whereas with the A118, if you wanted to catch something on the side that was really off to the side, you'd have to take this out and kind of hold it. The backs are very similar. The only difference is that the A119 now supports a GPS feature, and that's what this mount does. This mount that's actually a little bit thicker, which means this will sit a little bit farther from the windshield than the A118. But you do get the GPS features of this, which tells you where you are as well as how fast you're going. That can be a good or bad thing, I guess. The A119 also has an AV output, whereas the A118 does not. And the microphone on the A119 as well as the A118, they're both located on the side where the SD card is. So those are the main differences between the A118 and the A119. Video quality wise, the A119 definitely is better than the A118, which is why I'm upgrading my dash camera from the A118 to the A119. This, I think, by far is the best value in terms of dash cameras that are going to go for under $100. I got this one with the GPS mount for $75 on eBay. Currently they're selling for 90 something, so maybe I got them when they were still selling early. The A118 was a similar price maybe a year or two back. So what I'm going to do now is clean off the windshield from the excess gunk that was on the adhesive mount from the A118, and then I will mount the A119 and show you some differences in the dash camera quality, so that you can also see for yourself that the A119 is definitely a better video quality and image than the A118. Alright, so the Viofo A119 is fully mounted. So there's another cool feature that the A119 has that the A118 doesn't, and I want to show that to you guys if you just give me a sec here. I believe one of them is the lane departure warning system, which is nice, and then the one after that it also has is called the FCWS, some sort of warning system, but basically maybe a front car warning system. I can't really figure out what the FC stands for. So that's pretty cool. I wonder if it actually works. They're turned off right now because I don't want this thing beeping every time I, veer off to one side. But I am going to try and test it out later and see if I like the features or not. And what I wanted to do is show you guys the video quality. So I'm going to go out for a quick drive and show you guys how 1440p plays out a little bit better than 1080p with the A118.
Alright, so first thing you might kind of notice is that there is a little bit shake at idle. I'm pretty sure that's because with the GPS mount there is a little bit more wiggle room, but once you're moving it doesn't really make a difference. I don't see any more wiggle when the car is moving at all. You might also notice that the GPS feature with how fast you're going isn't exactly all that accurate. It looks like it's kind of delayed, and here like I obviously come to pretty much a stop and it's still saying I'm going 21 miles per hour, which doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know if it's delayed or if it's just inaccurate, but it looks like it's not the best. It's not going to be the best in terms of telling you what speed you're actually going. Just remember for a sec how crystal clear this is, and let's compare it to the A118, where you can just kind of see that the overall picture is a little bit softer. For some people it might look more pleasing to the eye, but for a dash camera you want things to be as crystal clear as possible so that you can see license plates. Here you actually have to be kind of close to the next car in order to be able to read their license plates, which is obviously a disadvantage for the A118 versus the A119. So what I'm going to do now is put these two dash cameras side by side so you can see what the difference is. Pretty much the picture quality speaks for itself. The A119 is definitely better than the A118. Audio wise, I didn't really see a difference between the two, so that's definitely not a reason to pick one over the other. But definitely go for the A119 now if you're going to be looking for a dash camera. I highly recommend it. It's a great camera. So that's it for today's video. It's Zed for me, and I'll see you guys next time.